Yeah, two more before we got to know the first one. Also, by the way, to be very clear, my friends don't owe telling me that they have a baby, especially when we don't talk very often.
Baby?
Like, you know, last year, I've lost a lot of friends because it was a really bad year. It was a...
Dude, how does Matara always get into, like... I feel bad for her, man. Every company she's been at has screwed her over, and her friends, there's always tension between them. She gets fucked over a lot.
really bad year. I was really paranoid about getting sued, and it was just a bad year. I was also really paranoid because I was like, these things don't make sense. This is crazy. None of this makes sense. And people are like, okay, crazy, like pack it up. And I'm like, but I'm not crazy. Like, yes, I know I sound crazy, and I know that the things I'm saying are crazy, but I promise you, I'm not crazy. And I definitely lost, I think, a few close friendships that way. Like, even if one day we'll be back to being friends, to be very honest, I don't blame my friends for not wanting to be my friend when I'm, you know, psychotic. But in my case also, like, I hope you guys understand, it's like, it goes back and forth, right? I don't blame the people in my life who didn't believe me and took Gunrun's side in the situation when he was telling them sweet nothings in their ears, you know? But I also am aware that, like, in my case, I don't want to be someone's friend again. If, like, you didn't give me the benefit of the doubt. You didn't trust me. You didn't listen to me.
Oh.
Like, it's this weird gray area. So I also don't blame people that, like, you know, didn't want to be part of my life during that thing. And, like, do you want to be friends with somebody that's, like, paranoid of getting sued, that's, like, complaining, that's like, ooh, my big problems, I'm scared, I got fired, I get it. So I also...
But sued for what? For just telling other talents, hey, I think our numbers are not adding up? No, I get it. Like, when you're depressed all the time, I feel like people get annoyed at it, but yeah, it's true that if you're negative all the time, at one point your friends will be fatigued. At first they're gonna be standing with you, but at one point there's fatigue. I don't know. I
like, it's nobody's job or responsibility to tell me about stuff. I could have been a better friend. I could have reached out more. I could have been there more. But I do this thing when bad things happen that I isolate and I close off. And yeah, I did that.
Oh, okay. Matara mentioned that when she tried to warn the Vshojo down, she pushed really hard when they were ready to accept what was happening. Before they were ready to accept what was happening. Yeah. I remember that. Sometimes, the thing is, sometimes pushing somebody to realize something kind of backfires a lot of the time. Sometimes you just gotta let people hit their own walls. You can't push them into a direction they're not ready to.
Yeah, it's not their fault and it's not my fault. That's kind of how I feel, Sabers, where I know that it's not my friend's responsibility to be there for me at my lowest. There's therapy and there's taking care of myself. I also wasn't amazing. I was drinking a lot, you guys. I was crying, like, even, and like, I love Junie to death, but even at one point, I was drinking a lot and I was talking to Junie, and the next day Junie was like, hey, Matara, I love you so much, and, like, I'm here for you if you want to talk about it. But just so you know, yesterday, like, it was a little overwhelming. Like, I think next time, you know, you should think about talking to other people about this. And I went back to therapy. And I'm really, really grateful that she told me. I think a lot of people would not have told me that. I think a lot of people would have just kind of, like, kept that in and not. But Junie was like, I love you and I'm there for you. But, like, at a certain point, like, it got really overwhelming, and it got...
Wow. Oh my god. I don't know how I would feel about having a friend say that. I get it though. They're valid, but man, you have to word this very diplomatically for it to fly, or it's kind of sad. If Mata overdrinks, that's a bad sign, plus expensive. Why? Is she a big drinker already? She's got a high tolerance? That is a real friend though? No, absolutely. Yeah, at a certain point, you venting's doing damage to other people. Yeah. She was being gaslit by Vshojo staff, true. Well, they all were. She was like, hey, something's not adding up. And then the other people are like, no, well, the CEO is telling us otherwise, so you're being crazy and you're causing trouble. Shut up. You're not equipped to help anymore? Who knows? She can kill a bottle of wine with ease, Rima. With ease? Like in how long? Like, the bottle of wine's not that bad, but it would take me several hours to get through. But if I drink it in less than 1 hour, then I would definitely get drunk. Matara's talk with Pia Piufo that you covered also touches on what she's saying here. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Just too much for me to bear. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. Like, I can't. I'm your friend and I want to drink with you and I want to hang out with you and you're awesome. But like, this is getting to that point where I don't have the tools to deal with that. But yeah, that happened to me a lot, where now I'm in a point where I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, you know, she's really good for that. And I always bring it back up to her, where I'm so happy that she brought that up to me. Because the next day I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I got a little too drunk and I like talked about this. No. She was like, it's fine. I'm not upset with you, but I don't want this to become a habit. Like, I think there's a problem here. I can't help you and I care for you. And like, this is not something that should keep happening. And she was right. And I went back to therapy. But yeah. So that's all.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a content creator, you just need to go to therapy. There's too many crazy shit going on all the time. That just comes with the job. Hard to find people willing to hear critiques. Yes, there are some people that are extremely sensitive and you always have to walk on eggshells around them. There's a lot of people that you have, when you're negotiating with somebody or you're trying to be diplomatic, you have to keep in mind their ego. And you have to, how can I put this? You have to put things in a way where they'll feel like it's not compromising to their self-image of themselves to accept whatever you're saying. But that often means that you also have to put your ego aside. Yeah, if you want to be persuasive. Being a public figure does take a toll. I've definitely felt the toll of that.
Also why, like, sometimes it's kind of odd, right? Where I have this weird thing inside me where, like, people maybe didn't do anything quote unquote wrong, but I feel very wronged by a lot of stuff that happened last year. So I'm kind of in a place where I'm like, I closed off from a lot of people myself and I feel bad and I'm trying to open up again, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I don't know how I'll do that. Honestly, I just feel so, But yeah, let's play games, shall we? Sorry, we were gonna play games before, but then I remembered the story. Like, literally, my friends talked to me about having a baby. Oh my God.
Okay, I think that's it. I could imagine it was so she saw already that there was something in the bush that she had experienced with that crap, but the other Vshojo members believe more the staff because they work with them longer and trusted them more, which sucks. Yeah, a lot of people need healing, I agree. Hey, you! Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I'll see you in the next video.